Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of In the Zone. We're down to 1 week left in regulation, and we've had one team eliminated since last week. However, we still got two playoff spots up for grab between three teams. So let's go take a look at how this is all going to shake down for our final week of the season and see what's up. What's at stake, and there's quite a bit at stake for the last bit of the year here. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, as you can see here from the standings, just a reminder from last week, the Harrison Lakers, Courtney Islanders, East Coast Brewers, Bruin from Suds, Colwood Rangers, and Macaulay Mustangs have all sewn up a playoff spot. What is still available is fourth spot in both the Langway or the Bossy division. However, still a possibility that Bossy could grab a wild card spot here. So, but we've got a very interesting matchup that will probably, well, it's going to be good. You'll see here in a second. However, unfortunately, this week, Chris Brand, Sealand Hockey Club was eliminated from the playoffs. They have no possibility even if they win out here. So it was a tough week for Chris, and better luck for next year. He seems to be up around that 8 to 7 range in the lottery picks for the last couple of years now. And so maybe next year will be his big move as he's been rebuilding here. So uh, let's talk a little bit about what we got going on here. Obviously, we've got the Lakers. They've shored up the CDS. We've got the Bruins. The Bruins here. So right now, it looks like the Bruins have got this thing sewed up. All they need is basically a point, and they've guaranteed their position into in first place in the Langway. So great job by them. Colwood Rangers are sitting pretty in second spot. They're not going to move any lower than second spot. And they have a big matchup against Courtney Islanders this week as well. Macaulay Mustangs are basically solidified in their spot in third in the Bossy or Langway division, and East Coast Brewers are secure with third spot or maybe second spot in the Bossy division. And kind of the way it's looking right now, things might be favoring towards the Brewers just a little bit to grab that second spot. And it's an important one, whether they're going to play the Mustangs or the Rangers. So let's take a look what can happen here. Dono and TK here, which is myself with the Islanders. We are absolutely 100% deadlocked right now. And if you go to the breakdown, the Islanders overtook the East Coast Brewers. So if we were doing fancy stats right now, the Islanders would have moved finally after a long chase up into fourth spot into the fancy stats right now. But they're only 2 points ahead of the Brewers right now. So yeah, the Brewers have 461 points and the Islanders have 463. And then if it goes to a tiebreaker, the Islanders have solidified the head-to-head by beating the East Coast Brewers this last week, which they're now 9-11-1 against the Brewers. So or 11-9-1, yeah, 11-9-1 against the Brewers. So they basically sewn up that tiebreaker. However, the odds still of fancy stats end up being tied after this is unlikely. And if it does go to a tie in the fancy stats, and this will be the tiebreaker here. So we'll never get to the final tiebreaker, which would have been wins, which would have went to Dono at 225 to 222. So exciting matchup for this week to see who gets that second spot. I would have to say, if we take a look at the scores here for this week, it would look like the East Coast Brewers kind of have a bit of an edge here because the Islanders are playing the Rangers and the Mustangs, where East Coast Brewers have a much easier schedule than the Islanders. Let's take up, they're playing the Wolfpack and they're also playing the Capitals. So things are looking good for the Brewers to go 2-0 this week. Maybe not so good for the Islanders having to play second and third place in the Langway division. So Islanders, to guarantee their spot and second spot, are going to need to sweep this week. It's looking like to me that the Brewers probably will win both games, and if the Islanders don't, then they'll drop to third place, and that's kind of where we're sitting. So if we go back to the standings here, let's take a look where the real race is going on here. So we got Flying Colors in fourth place in the Bossy division, and they're sitting at 47 points, and Pitter Patter right now is at 44 points. So technically, if Pitter Patter went 2-0 and Flying Colors went 0-2, Pitter Patter could catch Flying Colors for fourth spot in the Bossy division. If that's unsuccessful for them, there's also the Port Elgin Wolfpack, who are at 45 points, which is 1 point ahead of Pitter Patter. Now, don't forget to grab that wild card spot. Pitter Patter cannot be tied with the Wolfpack. They have to be ahead of them. However, here's the big kicker is check this out. Look who's playing each other this week, Pitter Patter and the Wolfpack. So it's probably all going to come down to this. So odds are that Flying Colors have probably got their spot locked. So we're basically playing for the fourth spot in the Langway division here for both the Pitter Patter and the Pack, even though it is technically possible that the Flying Colors could be eliminated. And how Flying Colors could be eliminated is if Pitter Patter wins the game against the Wolfpack, and then also wins their second game. Let's see who else Pitter Patter is playing here today as well. So they're also playing the Capitals, so that's looking good for them. So if Pitter Patter wins both their games, and if the Wolfpack, after losing to Pitter Patter, could still end up beating, who would they be playing here? Oh, they got the Lakers. So that's looking a little harsh. But if they won that game, and then Flying Colors lost both their games, and then both the Wolfpack and Wolfpack and Pitter Patter would be in the playoffs. But it's basically looking like it's coming down to a showdown between Pitter Patter and Wolfpack in this game here. And if Garrow just gets a win, he solidifies himself in. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be celebrating Garrow's first entry into the playoffs here. So quite a week we had last week. Pretty exciting stuff. We had three teams in the 60-point range, and we had 2 teams in the 50-point range. That's the top 5 teams in the fancy stats right now. And I'm telling you, this is headed to what could be one of the most wildest playoff rounds we've ever seen. We've got some really serious quality teams going at it here, and it's going to be fun to watch. The interesting part is going to be that either the East Coast Brewers, the Colwood Rangers, or the Courtenay Islanders, one of those 2 teams is for sure going to be eliminated in the first round. And that's almost too bad. And but that's just the way she goes when you got five really hot teams, and you've got the Lakers and the Bruins. They're well-earned, easy first-round matchups. So kudos to them for getting the spots in the playoffs there. Yeah, it's just going to be a barn burner. So we basically got, what have I got going here? I've got, actually, I've got last, this is so wrong of what I was looking at before. So I'm just going to redo it, what I did. I'm not even going to do another take on it. So let's see here. Who are we looking at? Yeah, okay. So we got the Pack. Pack is playing the East Coast Brewers, so that's going to be tough for the Pack. And then they're playing Pitter Patter, and Pitter Patter I had against the Capitals, right? Who is their other team they're playing? Pitter Patter. Oh, the Outlaws. So that's a good draw for Pitter Patter right there, even though they had a pretty easy draw last week and didn't do much with it. So yeah, everything's up in the air. And let's take a look at Flying Colors. Flying Colors playing the Rangers, and they're playing Sealand. So that's where we sit with all that. So yeah, it's looking pretty exciting. I'm just going to let you guys know that unfortunately, the templates, the Excel templates that I usually do for the playoffs and whatnot, I don't have those down here in Victoria with me. So unless I can get up to Courtney for a week to get those, I don't know what I'm going to do unless Renee wants to volunteer and do our league stats for the first 2 rounds for me. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I guess I'll try to make it up to Courtney to get those templates so that I'll be able to do the stats here. If not, I'm just going to have to do them by hand. You're all going to have to trust me. I wouldn't trust me as far as I could throw me. But anyway, that's what it's looking like right now. So looks like we got 5 playoffs teams that are pretty hot going into the playoffs. So it should be pretty interesting. But let's take a little bit lower down here. I see Dan the Man Baristo decided to take his playoff team out for a test run last week, which is unfortunate for the 2 teams that played him. As Dan decided to see what his muscle could do down there, and had a pretty successful week, actually. I think he went 1-0-1. So, and it looked like he was going 2-0 for the longest time, and not against bad teams either. He ended up with 37 points for the week. So looking really good there. The Living Skies Capitals have now clinched a spot in the bottom 4. And since Dan seems to be wanting to take his team out for test drive, which I don't think he's worried about his seedings. He just thinks he's going to sweep right through it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But I also thought last year I was going to sweep right through. And I went 5-1 and I lost first overall draft pick, even though it doesn't really matter. So Al is still in the running for second overall pick. He's only a point ahead of he's only a point ahead of Dan. So if Dan goes and jumps by him, Al will work his way down to second seed. And congratulations going out to Blake, who's earned himself first seed. So anybody ties with Blake, they lose to him. That's just the way it is. So congratulations going out to Blake. And so that pretty much looks like the standings right now. I told you that last week, Flames of Fleury were in purgatory. They're in the 5-8, and Sealand is now also in that 5-8. The big one, the big upset was for Moose Lake Jagger was pulling off a 5-2 victory, and I believe it was over Pitter Patter last week. They really needed to lose that game, and if they hadn't lost that game, they would have gotten themselves into the bottom 4. They're still eligible for the bottom 4 because they're only a point ahead of the Quebec City Outlaws, but the Outlaws are playing the Lakers this week, and who else are they playing? They're playing Pitter Patter. So I guess they could beat Pitter Patter. So that's very possible. And let's see. Let's take a look at Dan's got his playoff team out for a run again this week. Yes, he does. So, so there's a good chance that Dan is going to beat Moose Lake Jagger here. But the big tough one for Nick is going to be against the Gators. So he really needs to he needs to lose both games for sure if he wants any chance of getting down to the bottom 4. So that's basically what we have for now. It's and now you know what we're shooting for in the week. Should be fun. Looking forward to the playoffs. 5 really solid teams going in for a playoff run. Sorry, Keith, I don't mean to ignore you, but I think even you know that you're not in the same tier as the top 5 teams. Not to say that you couldn't win, or you could beat the Islanders, you could beat the East Coast Brewers. It just on any given week. But overall, with the strengths going into the playoffs, I'd have to say that the top 5 are the ones to look out for here. So. Yeah, that's all I got for you this week. So I'll see what I can do about those templates, and good luck to everybody going forward into the playoffs. And I can't believe we made it through this year with all the problems we had and everything. And of course, the problems are still coming for me because I don't have the templates for the playoffs here. So oh well. Sylvia, I'll work something will happen. Anyway, I want you guys to take care and peace out.